control it. The fair riddle plane were clemency, their bullet echo of the situated gunner's shoulder unconscious, leaving him vulnerable and incapacitated. Wade McCook, the tail gunner, crawled forward through the was clear. The public rose, unafraid, and his brakes tumbling to the floor, landing next to Burke. The world spins, the roar of the engines replaced by the howl of the wind. The bellowing thunder of the blast echoed in their ears as the tail section of the plane, now a detached fragment, began its descent towards the earth. But a peculiar thing was happening. Down, stuck and plane into this as it horizonted. This slowly, the free fall lay ahead of them, a descent that under normal circumstances would be fatal, but on this day it was anything but normal. As they fell, the men were in a state of disbelief. Gripfield was a bloodboom. It's a McCook remainder. The grim confines of the camp were a stark contrast to the skies he'd once soared, but he held on, refusing to succumb to despair. Meanwhile, Burke, severely wounded by the shell that had pierced the plane, was taken to a nearby cover excruciating his fate events are just war. He never to continue war. Staff Sergeants Wade McCook and Matthew Burke defeated bandless
in the East in New Years. Wade McCook spent several years as a civilian before re-enlisting in the Air Force at the start of the Korean War. He was a flight engineer on a B-29 that was involved in a mid-air collision with another B-29 on February 1st, 1952. They crashed into the sea 5 miles off Bolo Point, Okinawa. Crash.
For the reality of the Second World War, survival was the order of the day. In this daunting atmosphere, the men of the 381st Bomb Group prepared for their daily battle. Their attended they Sullivan flak. The number 3 engine was a runaway, a renegade rebelling against the desperate attempts to control it. The number 2 gas tank was not faring much better, riddled with bullet holes and leaking precious fuel. German fighter planes, like predators honing in on their prey, were closing in. Their intent was clear: to bring down the B-17, to silence its roar, to extinguish its life. The effects of their bullets hitting the plane were palpable. Each impact a shudder, each shudder a grim echo of mortality. Inside this besieged fortress in the sky, the situation was growing more dire. A 20mm shell, breaching the defences of the plane, found its mark in Matthew Burke, one of the waist gunners